Here we go. Here we go. Yes, sir. Back in the building again. Back in the building again. Urban Matter Live Chat. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice, here on the 24th of August. It is officially Virgo season. Let's rock. Let's run it.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
Y'all let me know how my sounds are coming through. Let me know with a thumbs up if the microphone is clear. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. This is your time to participate. Put your thumbs up in the building and make sure you like and share this with your family.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
Make sure you like and share. Yes.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
Here we go. We running it. Professor, you in the building?
We all agree tonight. All of us
Big M, are you in the building? Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Here we go. We're gonna run this here. Make sure we got it coming through clearly. I think we got it. Let's make sure all of the vitals are okay. And here we go.
We all agree tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very
Trying to
serious
put a little theme music in, but it's
Not
tripping
only
on me.
does America have a very serious problem,
Oh, we should have it.
our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is
Okay, that's all right. They messing with me, but that's okay. We here though. We are here. Salute, Professor. Brother M, what's going on? And we are live now. Yeah, we are live for your war briefing. And we're coming to you live from Urban Matters Black Media Group, Urban Matters Studios. And I got my most humble, dedicated posse with me. We got the professor. Professor, are you in the building? Salute, sir. Thank you for your service. And brother Matt, thank you for your service. I know you with that piece of parcel service. And we thank you again for your humble contributions. We thank you for that. And we thank you for joining us here, man. Thanks for that. Family, if you're in the building, if you're in the digital building, like and share. Make sure you hit the like button, like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, like. Share. And we're going to get this thing started today. And the topic is self-destruction of the black vote. And what are we saying? What are we saying with self-destruction of the black vote? Professor, you want to answer that question for us? Are you ready to answer that question for us? I know you got a great answer. I already know.
Man, Dr. Juice got to commend you again, man. Y'all know what it is. Cross the highway, bro. B1, 3 Ds. And
Yes,
we're here looking to reverse the struggle through education, Dr. Juice.
Yes, sir.
So your question is, what is your question? What's going on with the destruction of the black family, the destruction of the black people? That's a real easy answer.
I have no idea, Professor. I have no idea. We're trying to figure it out, man.
No, I got the answer for you, Dr. Juice. I got the answer for you.
we all agree
You know what?
tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very serious problem. Not only does it have a very
Can you hear me?
agree tonight, all of the
I
speakers
can.
have agreed that
I'm
All right.
America has a very serious problem.
No, I'm just messing with some stuff. Go ahead. We got you on screen, though. Go ahead.
Our people have a very serious
The reason why
America's problem.
that you have so much self-destruction and you witnessing self-destruction is the fact that Black Americans don't have no values and they don't have no standards.
But why is that, Professor? Why is
Because, and I'm repeating myself over and over again, when you traded ownership
Mm.
for integration, you gave up your education with that as well. See, what was the only institution left after that? We talk about that all the time. The only institution that was left was the Black church. So you have to ask yourself, I guess somebody at a church will argue with me that they teach Christian values, but Christianity don't obviously work for Black people because
And a lot of those Christian values are Christian indoctrination.
exactly, there's not values, there's doctrination. So my point again is that you don't have any standards, you don't have any values when it comes to interacting with each other. If you had any values, then why would I look at you as a Black man and shoot you? Why can't we work it out? Why can't we have a mature, intelligent conversation as opposed to a highly emotional charged conversation that reached to the point where you and I have decided that we disrespecting each other, and the only way that we can resolve our issue is you kill me or I kill you. Where's the value in that?
Mm.
Where's the value? You see,
Oh, well.
right? So you gave up with little value. You had values when you was colored, a little value. You had more values than you have now. You had a little bit more standards. But right now, you have a party. You have a party called the Democrats that's telling you you don't need no values. You don't need no standards. You can be whatever you want to be. You certainly can't be a man. Being a man is toxic.
Toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity.
Right. So they're telling and then they're telling your boys that being a man is toxic. So he's confused. Think about it.
He's confused.
You have a
He's
natural,
confused.
yeah, because you got all these manly things going on with your body. As a man, you're going from puberty to adolescent to adulthood. You're going through those natural stages as a human being. So when you're going through those things, you need guidance. You need guidance to help you understand what's going on with you biologically. But what you have now is a culture that's telling you, yeah, you're going through these things, but maybe you should be something else other than a man because being a man is toxic. You must understand, you have a anti-man
Chime in on that.
culture.
Let's let
going
Brother
on right
Matt
now,
chime
dog.
in on that a little bit. Brother Matt, chime in
Well,
on that. Do
you
you
know, I
agree with the
definitely
professor
agree.
about a lot of these? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Okay, you're
especially
breaking up on me a little bit. Okay.
talking about the,
Okay, there we go.
I'm still breaking up. Hold on, let me try something different.
No,
How
go
about
ahead.
now? Sean,
We can hear
better?
you now. Yeah, yeah, better, way better. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sorry about that. So, we were talking about the destruction of the vote, right? So,
Correct.
as was said, we don't have any more code. We don't stick to code. Like you was putting me up on game talking about my grandfather. He didn't play, right? It was
Right.
certain things we didn't do. I find that we have gotten comfortable and slowly manipulated in the almost having guilt when we want to ask for something, but we feel guilty about it, right? It's quite natural. Actually, that's what you're supposed to do when you come into a place of leadership. You should want to do something solely for your people to some extent. Not saying you don't do nothing for nobody else, but to some extent, shouldn't you want? That's the whole purpose of gaining leadership, to pull the next person that might be similar to you and come from the same, environment, give them, and their past, our, so shouldn't you wanna, what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, is what I'm getting at. But we've been made to believe somehow there's something wrong with that, or we should feel shamed or kind of guilty for doing so.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's just when you see Chinese people open up something like a bigger restaurant, right? They go purposely employ Chinese people on purpose. So
Correct.
It's fine to, when you achieve a leadership role, to reach back and pull up somebody who look like you.
Correct.
So that's what we getting at here now. The destruction of the vote. That's why it has, especially when it comes to voting. How our grandparents did, right? That party I'm talking about.
Right.
We we doing that out of tradition and not sticking to our, like you also said, values. So you throwing away your values. That part is promoting values that culturally don't even align with us. I remember at one point we ain't play about that gay stuff, right? But you go vote that way
Right.
to an organization who promotes that kind of, as again what we
Right.
were saying is making men feminized. You go continue to throw your support that way. It just makes no sense, and I agree. We ain't sticking to a code no more.
Right. Right.
That's
And
bottom
let me be
line.
clear. And let me be clear too, man. Let me clarify something about the vote. I mean, and let's clarify some things. Hey, brothers and sisters, LGBT brothers and sisters, because everybody, it's just like, you got a family member that's on. Everybody goes through it. Everybody has somebody that they can relate to that may be in that community, may be struggling with drugs, may be struggling with whatever. And, and I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. I really don't have a problem with our gay brothers. You get what I'm saying? We have to accept. We have to accept rules. I don't know if anybody paying attention to a lot of the laws right now, but a lot of the schools that don't allow the curriculum of gay education. You remember we used to have a school in education inside of our physical education classes, right? Sex, period. Sex education. You remember that? It was like junior high, mid junior high school or whatever, middle school. And we had to study this thing. We had to study different parts. We had to study venereal diseases. We had to study all of that stuff, right? Right? We had to study all that stuff. And nowadays, it's like it's forced on you, and it's a lot of weird stuff. I seen some lot of books that was coming through the elementary schools, and I think Governor DeSantis got that out of the paint with a lot of our schools. So I just don't like it being forced on children. It's to identify with what pathway they want to go down. They're being forced down this pathway of that type of education, and that's the part of it that I don't agree with, because grown people gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's the thing about it too. They're trying to make it seem like this some type of identification or some type of identity. No, this is a sex. It's part of your sex life. So there's nothing normal. Do you ever see me and my wife exploring and explicit and wide open with how we making sex and what our sexual preferences are? Do you see anybody with your partner, Matt? Do you see Professor? So that's what's to stay in the bedroom needs to stay in the bedroom. That's all I'm saying. That's just my theory. So I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. So y'all just chime in on that. I mean, let's not spend too much time on that topic, but let's get into what we really came here to discuss tonight: destruction of the black vote. Yep. And this put some type of discrepancy
Yeah.
on whether what you identify with as your culture, as your identity, as your ethnic group as your lineage. And see, that's why I'm always stressing about reparation and economics. And me and Professor, we always stay on the economic topics. At the end of the day, we only concerned about going in 2024, how are you going to make money if you're a Black American, if you're whatever you want to call. I call myself an Aboriginal. What you call yourself, Matt? An Aboriginal American, Indian American?
Yes, sir. I really I don't identify with African American. My dad always hated being called African American. I never understood until I, obviously got of more information and understood that he realized that we had no connection. So, as you know, especially on my father's side, we have a deep history of what they would call Native American today. But we have that history. We have receipts of that. That's how we understand that
Correct.
the education system is
Correct.
flushing a false history. But at any rate, at
Correct.
this point, I definitely identify as an indigenous person, or I do like to use foundationally, uh, indigenous to this land here. So I definitely don't like to use the word terms black or African American for myself anymore, realizing the wordplay.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the follow up on what you were speaking on with
Yep.
the
Okay. Well, we
the
showed that.
community of the homosexuals, I just want to say it's no shade on anyone, but if we go stand on business and just talk, cut dry
Going.
truth, um, culturally that's not something that was acceptable either. So that has been just a slow change for us as well. Um, I just don't find it. I'm like you. I don't want it pushed on. I don't see it necessary for you to be bringing drag queens in an elementary school. To me, that's abnormal because that's not my children don't get to see that at home. So that would be abnormal. Not to call nobody abnormal, but for my kids, that's abnormal. There's no need for that in elementary school, if that makes sense.
What is his screen frozen on him?
Oh, okay. Is his screen frozen? You still there, Professor?
Yeah, maybe his screen is frozen. We'll wait for it to come out. And
Yeah.
to your point, I'm not trying to beat anybody's lifestyle or culture up. Let's start.
Right.
I do business with a lot of gay people, and I have gay
Right.
friends. But because of that, it doesn't mean that I subscribe to uh,
Right.
that culture. It's just like I don't subscribe to Christianity at all. But guess what?
Right.
I have a lot of Christian friends.
Right.
You see the difference?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
but when I reflect on my ancestors, that include your granddaddy and a lot of men like your granddaddy who was raised in the community, those guys had principles and they had things that they stood on. Now, let me explain something to you in terms of how they were consuming information versus what we have today. Okay. Back then, when you look at technology, right, those ancestors, they had to consume and accept for face value what the establishment was telling them because that was the only source of news and information that was available at that time. So what you would do, you would cut the news on and listen to Walter Cronkite tell you what was going on, and you took that for face value because they control the narrative. Today, the reason why you young people are so powerful is because you can fact check real time. I go back to the church. People, they're wondering, well, why are young people steering away from the church? It's simple. It's because they sitting there fact checking all the bullshit you trying to tell them in the pulpit, and it don't make sense to them. So we live in a different time of being able to consume information like we've never consumed before. So when you find yourself arguing with old people, when I call old people my age, don't waste your time, because you are consuming information at a much, much, much higher rate than these old people trying to argue with you about some traditional stuff. They're not there. Unfortunately, so you got to keep that in mind when you're looking at the generational gap, and they're trying to convince you of, vote blue no matter who, and you're like, bro, I got an iPhone. I'm getting that stuff you're talking about don't make sense. So you got to understand where you are technology wise and what generation that you're dealing with when we have these type of discussions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can y'all hear me, guys? Can y'all hear me back in the building?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got right here on this. Y'all tell me if y'all can hear it.
We all agree tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that
Trying to see why they
America has a
messing with my
very
signal.
serious problem. Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our people have a very America's problem is self-destruction.
I hear it.
Oh,
well, today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience that's bugging. It's one or two suckers.
this is what we're dealing with, family.
Ignorant brothers trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that we could unite and fight. Don't kill our relatives.
Pop, 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 when it's shot. Who's to blame? Headlines, front page, and rap.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm to share some stuff with the family, and they playing with me. They janking up. That's okay. We're gonna keep it pushing. I want to share another. I just wanted to make sure my share was coming through. So I want to show y'all some of this stuff that's going on in the community. And these people are cutting
cops, and as you can see above, the police are watching. They have a police helicopter, so they're keeping a close eye on the protest. But people are obviously angry. Not sure they'll get close, but we're gonna stick with this and see what happens. But this is, obviously the DNC was a.
See, this is what they have not been showing you in. They have not been showing you this in Chicago during the DNC. These are people that are protesting and letting the Democrats know that, hey, listen, man, I'm telling y'all, I know everybody out here listening to the fluff and looking at all the entertainers and everybody twerking on stage at the DNC, and they got Snoop Dogg and they got, they got the damn
Patty LaBelle.
and everybody, and they making it look, oh, but that should insult you, family. That should insult you that that's all they got. That's all they got to offer you. They don't want to offer you nothing tangible. They don't want to offer no policies. They don't want to offer no strategies. Me and a few of my constituents and family members were going back and forth today, and at the end of the day, I asked them, what policies are you voting for? And none of them could give me any policies that they lack in their candidate. And I know everybody heard about RFK. He's teaming up with Trump. So that's going to bring more votes to Trump. Sometimes y'all try to discount them Republicans and make them seem like they just some country bumpkins and they just some dumb rednecks. But them people know how to use data. They're using data, they collecting data, and they understanding how to maneuver and how to campaign in a professional way. They're not on that goofy stuff where they're gonna bring Garth Brooks out and Sion, what her name, Dion Ceylon, whatever damn name, all these countries. They don't pander to them. Do you see them bring out Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee when they trying to pander to Asians? No, they come with policies. They write down policies and strategies. That's what they do. I can't believe y'all so simple, man. And I hate to say that about my people, man, but I'm about to go nuclear, man. I'm telling you, man, if y'all can't get y'all together, man, I'm gonna go nuclear because my grandkids gonna have something. My descendants and my family and all of them and Matt's family and all of we trying to leave something besides that, man. Come on, man, y'all get it together, man.
Afraid of the protest reaching delegates, shaming them and sort of telling them that they're supporting a genocidal candidate, and that's exactly what these protesters are trying to do.
They call the Democrats genocidal candidates. They are supporting genocide. So you know they don't care nothing about your Holocaust, the Black Holocaust, the African American, whatever you want to consider yourself as, the indigenous blacks, the indigenous Aboriginal American, you Indian, you the Holocaust. And they don't support you. They want to support more of oppressing you. Yeah. This ain't the Republicans now. This the ones that you support. This the ones that you vote for. Let's keep going.
Saying that the people inside are the war criminals. They're supporting a war criminal, that they should be allowed to do this. It's their right to protest, and that they shouldn't be treated like criminals for protesting this genocide.
100%. I mean, they act like this is a little deal here. It's a big deal. Genocide is a big deal. Now let's go inside of the convention, because there were protests that happened inside as well. Pay close attention to this one, folks. You have to look closely. Audience members at the DNC in Chicago unfurl banner that says "Stop Arming Israel." After the audience sees the banner, they begin chanting, "We love Joe." And a man tries to rip the banner away. I'm going to direct you in that view here so you can see where that guy appears. Watch this. Okay, you want to direct your attention right here where you see this white banner that's starting to appear. And there's a man standing here wearing a suit. Watch him.
Impossibility. We're in the grip for once in a century pandemic.
So do you see that? He rips the banner out of their hand.
Do you see the violence and the militarization of this Democrat Party? That's what RFK said the other night. He said, I remember when I was young, Democrat Party used to be the party of not censoring free speech. Now they censor free speech. They used to be the party of democracy. He said now they're doing everything in their power to destroy democracy. Y'all go check RFK Jr.'s speech out when he said he was going to join and unite with Trump.
Calls for racial justice long overdue.
Now, that was during Joe Biden's speech. And of course, they would hold that up while he's speaking because this blood is on his hands. So it makes perfect sense. I don't know who the heck that guy thought he was to just pull a banner away. That is their right to protest. And honestly, Joe Biden needs to answer to the crimes that he has committed. That's just how I see it. They're trying to protect you. It's kind of like a cult. I feel like these parties are like a cult. It's just really weird. It's like they're willing to do anything to protect these politicians and they don't want to hold them accountable. There was another one here. Like I said, we have a lot of these clips. Disrupted the DNC and delegate welcome party. Now, this is the one that I think went viral on Twitter. Welcome DNC, and a lone protester takes the stage.
Y'all can do better than that. Mike DeMarty!
150,000 people are dead! You are funding a genocide! The Harris-Biden administration keeps funding money to Israel! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
And I have to say I'm really impressed because she ran up on that stage like she was running from the police. Watch. You see how she got up there? So I'm telling you, if the police are ever coming after her, she got her escape plan. She has her escape plan. But yeah, and I don't blame her. Again, don't blame it. You need to hear from these people. You need to hear from these people. They have all the bougie people in town, the Clintonites, the Obamas, all of these people that are just really bougie. I heard the talking points last night. I heard it from AOC. I heard it from Jasmine. All these people are just, they're all a part of that elite D bubble, and they don't want to have to answer to the people. Another protest that happened inside was Code Pink. Medea Benjamin, they disrupted Tim Walz at the DNC Women's Caucus because he was talking about women's rights.
You see all of these, listen, you see all of these groups that are against the Democrats, not just us, not the grassroots. You got the feminists, the Code Pinks, you got the liberal, you got the progressives like AOC them, and they rocking. You got the Muslim groups, they're not voting and rocking with the Democrats. You got all of these groups, family. I'm telling you, you are a oddball. And don't try to deflect to the goofy stuff. Oh, y'all must be like Trump. Trump paying them off, this and that. No. How about the Democrats and Kamala and Joe and them are not paying them enough attention? How about that? And that's what's going on. So that's the long, the short, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Brother E, chime in. I see you just popped up on us. What you got to say? I see you got that American flag rocking it, boy. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Hey, nobody in America gets to rock that flag more than us because we are the founders, the foundation of this country. And man, I've been dealing with a lot of hate, man, because they mad because I'm going to tell you why, because black men are starting to think for themselves. Black men are becoming intellectual thinkers. We're becoming independent thinkers. They don't want that. They want you to just be part of the go along, get along gang. And I'm just going to tell our brothers that's rocking like that, man, you're making yourself look really weak right now. You're making yourself look like a weak man, bro. And I asked about 2 or 3 cats today, what is the policies that you are supporting with Kamala? Or Kamala, whatever damn name is. That's not even important. What's important is the policies that she's going to push into our community. Fire off, Ed. Let me know what's up. We can't hear you, bro. I think we got some mic issues going on. I think we got some mic. There you go. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're in it.
There you go. Yeah, I agree. I do think it's interesting that Cornel West is pretty much being attacked the day after he says he wants no black agenda, no vote. I mean, that's just, like I said, that's low hanging fruit. We ought to be able to at least ask for something specific for us.
Man. Professor, shoot, we got the crew. We got the crew coming in. All right, Professor.
What's going on, sir? Well, in order really to effectively manage this whole thing in our community, you got to have strong men. And I know that, again, we were talking about the feminization of the black man, but that's important. And let me tell you why it's important. Your voice is important. And right now, what's happening as a black man, they're trying to silence your voice as a black man. They're trying to tell you that you're an uneducated voter, you are a low IQ voter, okay? And there's a narrative out there that is increasingly disrespectful to the black man. And why is that? I'll tell you why. The black man is the only human being that can stand up to racism. There's no other gender, there's no other race in this country that stands up to racism but the black man. So, wouldn't it make sense then if that's the case, for the black man to be destroyed, to be marginalized, when you talk about the vote, I'll show you the system. Think about it. It all runs together. And I'm focused on the manhood thing right now because they're telling you you're toxic by exerting your natural right as a man. And they're starting out with your boys when you talk about no vote. And what do I mean by that? Think about this. If 70% of our boys being born by single mothers, okay, and we talked about this last week. So the little boy gets up to be about 13 or 15. He don't have no guidance, nobody teaching him how to be a man. He don't even know when he's a man. Okay? So now, without that guidance, and with the way technology is going, and you're not teaching him anything, he's at a very high risk of committing a crime, right? So what the plan is, and what's happening now, is that he'll catch a felony between the ages of 21 and 25 because he don't know how to do anything else. Well, guess what? You already know when you got a felony, you can't vote, and you can't have access to resources that will empower you economically. So now, if you're not empowered economically, now the woman, she's the head of the household. She's the head of the household. You don't control nothing. That's why it's so much disrespect toward the black man right now, is because you don't have the economic capability of managing your household. I've said that to you before. You got ghost watchers right now sneaking. They got to sneak and watch us. They got to sneak and watch us because the old lady ain't on board with this, and she run the household. So you got to be, as a man, you got to be quiet as a mouse in your household because you don't run nothing.
Right.
See? Now you're scared. Look at it. You're making them scared with that. You can't say nothing. So here's my point, Dr. Juice, Brother Ed. If you don't fight for your economical right, and if you don't have anybody supporting you on that, you're on your own, and that is the most important thing that you should be concerned about right now, because even without economic benefits, your vote ain't worth nothing.
Right. And you're saying fight, Professor, but all we're talking about right now at this day, we said just be willing to ask. Just be willing to put some pressure on them and say, give us something.
You just missed what I just said. You just missed what I said. Let me repeat it another way. You can't, right now, the reason why I know why you said that. The reason why people are not asking black men, because you're afraid to ask. You're afraid is that I'm going back to the fear.
Or you're being, you're having a reluctant mindset. You're like, I've done this, I've been here before, and I'm kind of hesitant now because I don't want to. I'm walking around on eggshells because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but at the same time, nobody is trying to salvage or nobody's trying to respect your feelings or respect your views.
You don't have no.
But Ed is right.
They're not going to respect. If you broke, if you ain't got no money, you don't have a voice. What view?
Yeah.
If you don't have no money, what view do you have?
What he's saying, Professor is saying, they have taught and conditioned your black woman to have a lack of respect for you, because if your money game ain't together, then they literally they correlate money and masculinity and order in the same boat. You get what I'm saying? And I get what he's saying, because I've seen it so many times, man. Listen. And I ain't saying I got this going on in my, but my wife got a PhD. You feel what I'm saying? And this chick is super smart, super intelligent, and she need a real man in her life. And I fit that script. You get what I'm saying, Ed? Because society is, is pushing, hey, you don't need him. I don't need him. He ain't. he's not on your level because he doesn't have a PhD. But see, I got have a self-taught PhD. That's why they call me Dr. Juice, right? Because I'm somewhat respected and revered to be a man. And that's what the professor is saying, like about the Democrats. They have an attack on your masculinity. That's why they make up all these terms like toxic masculinity, or you're toxic. Well, there's a such thing as toxic feminism as well. So let's just keep it about 100, man. That's not our fight. Black men and black women, for the most part, we get along until we allow that open enemies rhetoric and we allow that open enemies conditioning to come into our homes and create the stableness of our homes. It gets fractured, and now you don't have that family structure anymore that we grew up on in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then when civil rights came along, that's when all of this madness started. You got the boule, and that's my next topic. I'm gonna kind of chime in on that boule, that Divine Nine, how they're doing a lot of undermining. They're undermining the black structure, the black power, and the black balance, and the foundational black Americans. And man, I'm telling y'all, man, listen, I had an exciting day today. I'm just say that, and I'm gonna digress right there. I'm gonna land my plane.
Well, so Dr. Juice,
let brother. Oh no, let's get Brother Matt in. Brother Matt, you still there? Chime in. Let's get Brother Matt in real quick, Professor. Hold that thought, Professor. Right there. Write that down, Professor.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was just, trying to make my way in as well. Too, y'all know, I'm just getting in. I'm trying to kind of get comfortable a little bit too.
Well, go ahead and you can go ahead, Professor. Then.
Well, go ahead, Professor. Go ahead, Professor.
Well, I was just going to emphasize again the importance as black men. I'm talking to black men that you're going to have to stand on business by finding innovative ways to position yourself economically now, okay? Because if you don't have an economic position, you can't provide leadership within your own household. And that's by design.
Of course.
Look, my mama, she quit teaching college to have me, okay? My daddy had a third grade education, but together they built the empire. So we're going to have to teach in our community, we're going to have to educate in our community how to combine our talents and produce our own economics. Because I'm going to just tell you right now, just as sure as I'm sitting on this live, they've already told you that you're getting nothing. The reason why you don't see any policies from, and you forgot to mention miscommandment, is because they're going to do this. They're going to do the same thing they've been doing, bro. They just committed another $125 billion to Ukraine.
Right. I think the only thing I was adding to that really was the fact that they are going to do what they've been doing, but we could at least ask them. We could at least try to put some pressure on them and say, you're here for our vote. You've got all these dances and stuff. Clearly, you're talking to our community. If you want it, what you got for us? It's a simple question to ask. When
you ask, here's the fear. Here's the fear, Brother Ed. The fear is being shamed and asking. And when you ask, let me show you, watch this. When you ask, they're going to turn around and say, oh, well, Ed, we got to do it for all. So now you've been talking about Jesus so long, you're afraid to say, wait a minute. Say, my ancestors built this country and all wasn't back there when my granddaddy was hung and his genitals were stuck in his mouth. All wasn't back there when my grandmama, when she was raped and beaten. All of those people, there wasn't no gay people, wasn't no midget. It wasn't no Hispanic. It wasn't none of these people but you. But we're afraid. We're afraid to say that because we'll be shamed. Oh, wow. That's nothing to be ashamed about. And it's nothing for you to step out and say, all wasn't back then, back then.
True.
It's fear. It's fear.
But hopefully, the more of us that, I guess, I don't want to say get educated, but are willing to do some digging, I guess, that's where the data should come in. Because, you can find where they've given this money to other groups of people. And if they have it to give there, they should have it to give here. That should take, the sting out of the shame, because it's like that the Native Americans aren't ashamed. The Guatemalans and the people in El Salvador, they're not ashamed when you put together a $5 billion deal for them. The Pacific Islanders aren't ashamed. So that's all I'm saying. It's just, now I'm not saying we would necessarily get it, but I'm saying these things are just so simple to ask now that us coming along, we're saying, okay, either you're too simple to put this together, or you know it and don't want to do it. We need to know which one.
I can tell you which one. And I don't know how else to tell you. There's, when you hear these people saying, well, I stand for this and I stand for that and I stand for this group, when have you heard anybody say, hey, I stand for the black man? Because the black man has been disrespected. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these people are not sitting around having think tanks on how to make your life better. These people that's coming across the border, they're not coming across with the idea of partnering with you so that these people are not thinking about all. When we get to America, we're gonna hook up with the brothers, we're gonna work together, we're gonna collaborate, because they already telling these people that you're ignorant. Look at their behavior. The black men, they're hustlers, they're in gangs. Look at the black women, they're a bunch of ratchet hoes. That's what the world see. That's what the world see. That's what the mainstream establishment is projecting to the world, and they're doing that by getting these rappers entertained. They're not getting anybody who has any intellectual capability to explain these things. They're entertaining you. So now they're not. So you're asking serious questions, and they playing with you. I'm telling you, it's not going to work.
Let me let me share something with y'all real quick. Go ahead, Ed. Let me share something with y'all real quick. Go ahead, Ed. Finish your statement.
All I was gonna say was, I admit there's really no way to tell whether it's not going, whether it'll work, and it probably won't. All I was saying is, these are questions worth asking.
Right. I'm gonna show y'all something that this, in my perspective, that the Democrats are expecting the black males to compromise with, and this is ultimately why they want to effeminize and have all these effeminization tactics to make us stand down. And trust me, man, we're a real threat. Guys like us that are speaking up and to have a platform like this, they even got some of our fellow brothers and brethren are fighting us right now, tooth and nail, because it's too much work to like be leaders in your community and to be protectors of your community. And I think that's why we get a lot of pushback from a lot of our brothers, man. And so I want to show y'all something. What's the ultimate goal of the effeminization goal of these liberals? Let me play this real quick. Gave me some janky stuff. Can y'all hear that? even see it. Hold on, give me a minute. I don't know why they doing me janky like this tonight, man. There we go. It's just slow. It's just it got a lot of lag going on, y'all.
Buck breaking, we have to understand that buck breaking is a show of power. It's a show of dominance.
Y'all hear that, fellas?
So we can't talk about without talking about power.
When we look at the of black people by the dominant society, what we are in essence seeing is that this society wants to ensure that we are not able to actually mete out that thing that makes humans exist, and that is creating families and procreating.
See, psychologically, when we're talking about the sexualizing of our people, primarily from the dominant society, for the system.
And see, this is what they're doing now. They got this whole slave play going on. Notice that a lot of the empowered women that they have within the Democrat Party, you got to John G. Jackson's, the Supreme Court. She's got a zaddy. Kamala has her zaddy. They're just pushing this whole theory, and they're pushing this whole notion that, oh, you don't need the black man no more. You just go get you a zaddy, and this is what's going on. And so this is what they did with the black men in slavery. This is why this is so important, because they needed to do everything they can do. If you see this illustration right here, you see what they're doing. They got him butt naked. They got him tied up, and they sticking all types of objects up in him. And then they got his woman right there hanging, and they got her watching the whole thing. And then look at the sambo that they got. They got the sambo in the middle. That's your boule. That's your AKAs, your black elites, your black leaderships. That's them helping him. You see what I'm saying? Helping them feminize you. You see that? You see that illustration? Let's keep it going.
Had to be established in a very impinging way from the mental state.
This whole notion that masculinity,
which was originally the black Jesus, you always see him stripped down. They got him hanging on the cross, butt naked, because they need to break you down as a man. Toxic masculinity fails. You see that? Read that. I'm gonna let that play out.
somehow toxic and detrimental to society is nothing but an attempt to emasculate black malehood.
It's clearly an agenda. If you have two eyes in your head and you're able to see, you can see that it's an agenda, and it's an agenda to decrease our population.
It's always been about destroying the black family. The family's the foundation of a people.
The heterosexual black male is last on the pecking order here in America. If you're just a heterosexual black man, how are you gonna beat the case? Because when you show up to court, when you show up to the job interview, when you show up to wherever, you coming in here as a heterosexual black man, you have no power.
When Mark Twain confessed that we white people ground the manhood out of the Negro. Why ground the manhood out of the Negro? Because it's black masculinity that most exposes the fraud of white masculinity.
We, as the progenitors of culture, the ones who are the fathers and mothers of civilizations, who taught all people, who people look to for social cues, whether they want to realize it or not, I think they feel if they can get us to adapt to it, they can get everybody to adapt to it.
If anybody should have a problem with European males, it should be the European female. Because everything the European male has ever learned to do to us, he first practiced on his own woman.
We need resources in education, we need resources in labor, we need resources in politics, we need resources in medical, we need resources in so many things, but they ignore that and they put millions and even billions of dollars to tell us that you need to really embrace your LBGT side. So these people have an agenda, and it's up to us to understand what the agenda is.
Buck breaking. They want you to take on that buck breaking attitude. They're trying to break you. They're trying to take the masculinity out of you. I digress. Well, Matt,
So
Professor?
that's where the so brother Ed, to answer the question, that's where the fear, is deep seated fear. It's deep seated fear. Okay. And then when your economics is controlled by somebody else, when your economic is controlled by somebody else, that's another fear because you don't want to say or do anything that's going to be a threat to your money. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important for us to teach our boys how to make their own money. And that's possible now because we live in a global economy and we have technology to do that. But if you're working for someone else and if you're coexisting with a female that makes more money than you and she's tied into this whole narrative of these people, it's very difficult to win. You've been castrated in so many ways as a man. Wow. And that's what it's all about. Castrating you on all levels.
Mental castration. Mental castration.
Right. Right. So
listen, fellas, I know this tough, man. Listen, I know this tough, man. What Professor is saying is tough for us to digest, man. But he's spot on, man. He's spot on.
Yeah, you've been so and see, here's the thing. There's no other platform. There's no other platform. There's no church that you can go to and get this kind of information. And in your area, there's no other platform where we're able to speak our minds without the threat of being canceled. Everything we're doing here is financed by us.
Yeah.
There's nobody. There's no institution. Okay.
And Professor, let me clarify something real quick because I know sometimes this is what a lot of our folks do, and they want to try to affiliate themselves with this, that, and the other. But this is not all women. So don't just lump yourself into, we just all one woman. You got a lot of women out here that's really, really standing on business. And they know that what we're saying has nothing to do with them. Has nothing to do with them. Because you got a lot of women that listen, they standing on business with their man and they understand, hey, I bring this to the table, my man bring this to the table. So it's not. I hate when everybody get an agreement, just like what the professor's saying. We probably got some men that don't agree with what professor is saying. That's their right and that's their prerogative. But at the end of the day, if you can't present no data that can discredit what we're saying, then you have no voice. You got to present facts in real time and data in real time. We're just giving you information that they don't want to talk about. That's the one good thing about this platform. We talk about the stuff that everybody try to ignore. Everybody tries to turn a blind eye to. And we just got enough balls and we got enough courage to talk about it. A lot of people don't have that courage, man. So I just want to put that out there, Professor. All women, we're not talking about you. Because if you know you standing in the pain, you standing by your man, you standing by your father, you standing by your son, you standing by your brother, baby, this conversation is not for you.
That's hello, gentlemen. How are we today?
What's going on, brother Mark? Thanks for joining us. Mark and Mark.
I'm doing good.
Great.
I'll turn my video on in a minute. I'm finishing something up here. But Professor, oh man, you hit that on the head with a sledgehammer. And yes, sir, I salute you. And Dr. Juice, same thing. Look, that's part of this feminist agenda.
All of us bring what we bring to the table. Brother E, we got to thank Brother Matt, all of them, bro. Salute all these brothers because it take courage, Brother Mark, to get on this platform. And any man that can get on this platform and stand on it, put 10 toes down, hey, I commend him and salute him.
And I just came in when Professor Voss was talking about the information he was just speaking on. So I haven't heard Brother Matt. How you doing, brother? And so But
All right.
the
How you
thing
doing?
doing good. And but brother Dr. Juice, here's the deal. That's part of this feminist agenda that we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody's lumping themselves in with people that you're not aligned with through your actions.
Right.
And you can't do that because everybody, all of nothing is good. It's usually like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Professor Boss, but usually it's like a 10% fail safe. That's so if you're talking about black folk, it's always that 10% pretty much that's gonna be different. But we always want to try to lump everybody and say, because that word all and everybody, that will cause division. And that's what we can't do. Like you
Mm-hmm.
say, if the shoe don't fit, then don't wear it. But some things
Mm-hmm.
it may fit. So that's when you put it on. So I just had to chime in. Awesome job, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Brother
hop
Ed?
on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just say this and I'll get out of it. I hop on the black women, Dr. Juices, because the data, and they brag about it. They say that, and listen to the disrespect now. They say that the black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party. Now I know that's a broad statement, all right, and I'm not trying to bash anyone, but I'm going by the data. They said that. So what does that lead to black? They don't even mention the black man. So what are you the backbone of? As far as they're concerned, you the backbone of nothing. You the backbone of nothing, and there's no respect. In fact, you are voter low IQ, okay, and you're misinformed. Is what they're saying about you.
Wow.
And that's supposed to be okay with us. And it's supposed to be okay with us. And for our women, let me ask you like this. Since we're all leaders and we've been around leaders, one thing that leaders don't do and salespeople don't do is bash the competition in order to make yourself look better. And that's what our women have been trained to do. And little stuff like that, we have to start recognizing, because it's not like they just all of a sudden said, oh, I'm going to start bashing my man. But they've adopted these ways that are self-destructive in a relationship with your man. And we have to go back to those ways where we don't speak negative on our people in public. If I got something negative to say about you, then I'm gonna, when we get offline, then I'm gonna say, hey, Dr. Juice, bruh, that didn't make not one bit of sense. What were you
Mm-hmm.
talking about? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But I'm not gonna get
Mm-hmm.
on a public forum and disagree with you or bash you behind your back. And that's what code we got to start getting back on. Because a white person can kill 20 people, and then they will automatically start saying, oh, he was mentally troubled, and he was this and he was that, and trying to downplay it. Whereas you put the mic in front of one of us and we go, oh, he was a hellion from the start. He was this and this, all negative. So those are the things we got to
That's a
stop
fact.
doing.
We like the only ones that really bash our own people. You don't see that from other groups and other causes. They don't bash their own people. Don't come out, oh, like, I don't like that joke out, or go live on them, or go, online with them, And this is like, it's a phenomenon about the whole thing with the Democrats now going off on Trump. This is the first time this is unprecedented. This is the first time you ever seen white folks, white on white crime and white on white this and white on white. You didn't used to see that. You don't never see Asians going off each other. And
Well,
another thing you don't see. Go ahead, Professor.
let me correct you. Let me correct you. Just recently now, here's what I like about white folks. Just remember now, Trump was bashing our governor, Kemp. He was calling him a average governor.
But that's what I was saying. This is the first time in history you ever seen that type of stuff taking place with white people on white people. You didn't used to see that type of stuff.
Well, let me give you another case then. If you remember, your Miss Kamami, she told Joe Biden that she was that little girl on the bus, and he was a racist. He was. Remember, she said that now.
Yeah, I remember that. But that's what I'm saying. Now you're seeing that, but you didn't see that back with, during the Bush era. You didn't see that back with the Ford era, Kennedy. You didn't see that type of stuff when them guys was in office.
No,
you didn't see that type of stuff. And Kamala, I expect it from her because she don't even know what she is. So of course she gonna go off on it, right? You know what I'm saying?
They hated Jimmy Carter. They talked crazy about Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Jimmy Carter, he was the nigga lover. That's what they call it.
Look what they were saying. I'm talking about like say for instance, like you see how all of us on this platform, we pretty much all of us are outspoken. But one thing about us, we respect each other as men. I'm talking about that unique uniting. They would, but at the end of the day, they might have said what they said about Jimmy Carter, but at the end of the day, they'll get on some type of bipartisan level and create laws and come together. You see what I'm saying?
That's my point too. That's what I was trying to point out. We ain't gonna do that.
No.
The reoccurring word seems to be code. I know we all came in kind of at different times, and I'm sorry I didn't get the gentleman's name that just came in, but he even came in after. It seems we don't stick to code. We don't have black code no more. There used to be a code, but now people are, the code is not there anymore. Like I said, you'll see Mexican people throw up an establishment, and they purposely go out and find only their people, Chinese people. Everyone has a code. We the only people who don't stick to code.
Code of conduct.
Yeah, that's in part too because of the proliferation of the culture that we do have. It winds up becoming commercialized to the point where it exists as American outside of us. Like, it's not soul food anymore. It's Southern food or comfort food. All kinds of stuff like that. Hip hop is not specific to us. That's American culture. It's not our culture. It's American culture. That plays a large part in us not being able to stick to code, stay on code rather, because we're not continuing the development of our own culture, pretty much.
You need money. You need economics to enforce the code. Think about this. Here's a word for you. Code enforcement. How about that?
Right.
Code enforcement comes from economics, and it starts in your house. And again, if you don't have no economics in your house, you can't enforce shit. Nobody's gonna respect you.
Well, I have to. Well, it was enforced when I was a kid, even in the poorest of families. Certain things you just didn't do, and we walked. And you can see that in other cultures too. They may not be the richest, but certain things they not gonna do. But when we only chasing money, that it gets broader. Because I remember growing up as a kid, and us little boys will be sitting around. Would you do this for $1 million? Because we thought $1 million you're rich, and we're like, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So we don't have that same moral code anymore. Because the moral code, it supersedes finance and everything else. You're not gonna come into my house and do anything because this is how the code runs in my house. Whether I have $1 million or I have $3. And so that's the now as far as on a large scale, I agree with you, Professor. You in order to turn it into a large scale thing where a whole community is operating in that way, I guess if you want to enforce it that way, you would need finances.
Yeah, but also culture is not important to. It's not really important to us either
Anymore.
Well, I just mean we don't grow up thinking about developing our own culture. Even though we probably should, specifically as who we are. We're not really taught that. Most of our culture, particularly being Southern and Black, is based around church. Stuff like that. Being in church on Sunday, um, uh, consistently rather, and then going Easter. I feel like a lot of us, even if you don't grow, even if you're not in the church as an adult, you definitely grew up in church or you spent a lot of time in church. I mean that we have a lot of things that connect us around that, but we're not really thinking about developing traditions outside of the ones we've been given or anything like that. I think our generation is now because we're fortunate enough to be able to look into the history of the things that we're told to celebrate today. Like nobody's trying to celebrate Columbus because we've all learned about him. Nobody's trying to celebrate Thanksgiving in the same way that we used to because we now know the history of it and we don't appreciate that. And so now we're trying to find uh, ways to congregate on our own and make them our own now, now today, because now we realize there's a hole there, and that hole is there largely in part because we don't a lot of us don't know exactly where we came from. We don't have that connection to our past like that, but we're thinking about it now, and that is going to be required for us to work together and build an economy in the first place. You're gonna have to get on some kind of code to say I'm gonna put
So brother Ed, let me
my
ask you a question about
brother
getting
first.
on code. Let me ask you a question, brother E, about getting on code, right? If we have a population of us that vote Democrat and all of us want to get on code with the Democrats, because don't get me wrong, I used to vote Democrat. I really did. But when they
Me too.
start pushing stuff like abortion, when they start pushing a lot of these other weird ass policies, I couldn't rock with that. My conscience couldn't rock with that. So let me ask you a question. Something as infant murder, we'll call it. We'll just call it infant unaliving, where you take a fetus and you allow the
Gotcha.
abortion clinics to sell the organs. You allow the abortion clinics to sell the fetus and use it into commercial uh, business. How can we get on code with the people that go out and vote Democrat? Our loved ones, a lot of our loved ones, a lot of our pastors and churches and everything. How do you feel about if you vote Democrat and the Democrats are pushing all these sins within their policies? Aren't we somewhat guilty of this of those policies if we continue to vote Democratic? Aren't we agreeing with a lot of this abortion and a lot of these other weird laws that they're putting on the polls, or are we not?
I think we'd have to start much smaller in scale. There, even though those people vote Democrat, there's something that they're going to agree with that I'm going to agree with. Um, whether whether it's something far more simpler as saying, okay, every uh, black man needs to know how to farm. That's a simple code. That's a very simple code.
Correct.
I don't think someone who votes Democrat is going to have a lot against that, and we
So
start
you're
from there.
saying we need to find out what we have in common and work on those issues first.
Yeah, yes. I mean, ultimately, but I'm also saying we don't have to shoot for the moon right out the gate. Something as simple as saying, be able to feed yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Totally.
who's going to have a problem with that?
I totally
They may not
agree.
want to do it, but I don't think they'll fight it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be as grand as we got to vote the same way. We got to find a candidate that's going to be pushing our policy. No, something as simple as be able to feed yourself and your family.
Gotcha.
We need to work on that.
That makes sense. That
Be
makes
able to
sense.
make a table out of wood.
Thank
We
you.
need something as simple as that.
So shouldn't we
Right.
be focused on that? I think me and Professor was having a conversation about it earlier today. Remember, Professor was like, why aren't we like, I seen this article where this European, male of age, like in his 20s, he killed this 2-year-old black kid, and they only gave him 2 years.
Wow.
So I to agree with what you're saying, shouldn't something we be trying to push as far as one little single policy before we vote this coming election in 2024 in November, that they absolutely mandatory must come up with an anti-black hate crime bill? That's something I know all of us can agree on, especially all the people that were pushing, go against the blue, police brutality, and Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin. They should at least have been, but even the Trayvon Martin bill and the Michael Brown bill and the what was the other guy that got killed up in Minneapolis? What is his name?
Yeah. Philando Castile.
George Floyd.
Oh, okay.
The Democrats ran on that in 2020. They pushed that. Oh, we gonna give y'all the George Floyd bill. We got it. And it gets in Congress with a total Democrat House of Representatives and a full Democrat-controlled Senate, and they still did not vote on the bill. So what that told me, that some Democrats put the bill down, the George Floyd hate crime bill. I digress.
And that's more of that word salad. And they confuse us, or they throw the majority of us off with all this hate rhetoric and fear mongering, to where we're not looking for substance, because they get you so wound up, and then they preach sermons to us because they know, our women are there, and our women like that church vibe to their Democratic National Conventions, and they get you all right, get you all excited, but they don't give you no substance. Because you're right, Dr. Jews, get something from them. You need to be saying, hey, make us a protected class, just like you did the Asians and the
but this is exactly what I
LGBT.
was saying earlier. This is what I was saying earlier. At least need to ask. You at least need to ask.
Right.
The question is just too simple not to.
But Ed, you already know for a fact, some of our people, they don't want to ask nothing. You got people like Steve Harvey talking about, stop asking Kamala Harris for anything, Tam. Just go out and vote. Then you got people like Roland Martin, like, y'all just need to check y'all ass out and vote. Y'all ain't got to be worried about trying to get anything. Then you got people like, what's the guy from the Sambo from South Carolina? What's his name?
Is that Ricky?
Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn. Boy, y'all he sound like Uncle Ruckus. I don't want nothing for my family. I'm good the way I am. Y'all ain't got to give me nothing, Joe Biden. Just make sure you just don't forget about me when you know that I support you. See, we got to get them damn Sambos and them mammies out of the paint. That's why I call Kamala Kamami. Because they just on some mammyism. And y'all forgive me for these terms, man, but I'm trying to keep it 100. I told Professor, man, I'm almost to the point where I'm about to go nuclear like Kanye on their ass and just start calling them out by name. That's why I'm trying to create this platform so we can have a diverse, dialect and we can go back and forth and exchange ideas. But you got so many cowards in our culture, they won't even want to come on to they want to, they want to ghost watch and then try to critique me while they ghost watching. I know you ghost watching because my views up too high. I get 400-500 views in 2 days, right, Professor? See,
Absolutely.
we look at the data. We look at the data. So I know you out there watching. Won't you come on and help us, man? Create this grassroots voice, man, and so we can get some things done. All you ghost watchers and you like Malcolm X say, you're a traitor to your race. If you keep voting the same way, and you know that this party controls over 2/3 of the Congress, and they got the White House is fully blue, and they still not doing nothing for you, you not only are a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Juice.
That's a quote from Malcolm X.
Dr. Juice.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to defend the brothers too much, but again, if the majority of black women support the Democrats,
You freezing up on us, Professor. You freezing up on y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you got a bad signal, Professor. Turn your Wi-Fi off on your phone. See if you can get a stronger signal, Professor. You're freezing up on us.
And Professor Wright, and they, it's almost like you telling them not to go to church or telling them to get another church or go to another pastor.
Man,
Once they get involved and get that emotion going, it's hard to stop it. I tell you, gentlemen, what I do is everybody know, and I don't hide it who I'm gonna vote for. But when something come out of anybody's mouth, I check it. And I notice, like Trump, he speak on, how terrible it was, how terrible we left Afghanistan, right?
Oh my gosh.
So, little stuff like that, I want to speak about it on this platform because because when Trump speak on it, he just kind of speak on it and keep going. And the news not going to talk about it. But do y'all realize we left $7 billion with the B dollars worth of military equipment in Afghanistan after we've been there fighting these people for 20 years. And basically what we did was we supplied the Taliban.
Who left that, Matt? Who left that, Brother Mark?
Biden-Harris administration left $7 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan.
Almost on purpose, ain't it?
Yeah, they did. That was their plan. They say, oh, it's an easier withdrawal that way. But y'all, look, let me just give you some of this.
And immediately a war broke out right afterwards. A war broke out in the Mideast. Another war.
Yep. 78 aircraft, 12,000 Humvees, 42,000 trucks, and y'all listen to this one, 350,000 rifles.
You got that data? Let's pull it up because you know how some of our people live. You got that data? Pull it up. Let's pull it up on your screen.
And I'm on my phone because my Wi-Fi not working right at the house.
Okay, yeah, it might not let you pull it up on your phone.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's it might not come through at all.
We're gonna blow it up. Yeah, let's see. Let's blow it up.
That's my little wallpaper coming in.
Okay, back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. There you go. Yeah, we can't see it. Yeah, hold it up. Nah.
Yeah.
Too much white behind you.
Yeah. I tried.
You can put it. You can share it into the chat.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll pull up the chat and then I'll share it. But stuff like this, this should be things that make you say, I will or I won't vote for somebody. Not all this emotional stuff. We should be voting on facts. because if we keep it in our realm, if I get in a fight with you, Dr. Juice, and I take 20 guns and a hammer, and I call myself beating you up or whatever, or I don't beat you up, and I leave my 20 guns and my hammer, who wins?
Mm-hmm.
You win, because you got 20 extra guns and a hammer.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be saying, what was he thinking? And that's what I'm asking. What kind of policy do I want a policymaker leading our military, because the president is the commander in chief, who makes these type of decisions? And that's just a rough overdraft of the things that was left. That's just a rough overdraft of the things that was left behind. So we have to look into these kind of things and not get caught up into the optics that they like throwing at us. And just this year, the Taliban did a parade of them with all the military equipment. That was done in 2024. With that same military equipment, they showing it off, and also they're selling it too, making money for their cause. And who was that propped up by? The Biden-Harris administration.
Facts.
So, just look it up. Military equipment left behind in Afghanistan. And there's so many articles and so much information on it.
Let me play a quick clip for our family right now, y'all. Because somebody hit me up today and said that Trump is paying RFK. Trump is paying Cornel West. So I want to hit somebody up and show them that this is what these people do. And I ain't trying to back them, and I ain't saying that they did it. I ain't confirming that. But I'm just trying to tell you, your candidate is the main person paying off people.
Right. So they can
play some.
Consciousness, brother. That's right. He has a PhD in psychology, child psychology. He's the only brother with a PhD in child psychology, African Americans child psychology. He is he is Black Power. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass. Now I
don't know about all dude. He hold his ground. He put it down sometime. I got to give Umar his proper. Umar be on some sideways stuff. Yeah, he okay for the most part. He is a very intelligent brother, and we got to start, commending our brothers like Umar, professor, because it's very rare we have Black educators in our community. So I love this guy. He's a psychiatrist. He's a PhD in child psychiatry. So we got to get a brother some props.
just said,
yes, sir.
Kamala Harris offered him $10,000 to do an interview. I was like, what? And he said it. You can see his video. Dr. Umar doesn't like to mix words, and he loves to come close to the camera and let you know. They tried to offer me $10,000. I cannot be bought. I'm a silverback gorilla consciousness. I'm a silverback.
Hey, this guy right here hilarious, man. This guy here be tripping me out all the time. Hey, he can do a Trump impersonation so good, boy. He was like, look, hey, he does the Trump thing, man. He be killing it.
Not be bought. Do you understand me? Keep your damn money. King Kong consciousness ain't for sale. Kamala Harris and her team, you think you can I am not one of them Negroes. He is the king.
I just had to play that real quick, man. That was hilarious right now. I know everybody think we so serious on here, though, but we do have a sense of humor over here on Urban Matters Black Media Group. So just wanted to put that out there, man. That show that the Democrats are the main one. I can't think of that one little jitty boy. He's a gamer, and he got like 1.5 million followers. I can't think of his name. My son had put me on. He said, Dad, look at this video right here. My son said, I'm talking to y'all and my son, boy. He was like, Dad, man, look at this. Kamala Harris tried to pay off this jitty boy right here. He in the gaming community, and the jitty boy, we playing the jitty boy. I'm gonna get that video. I'm gonna find that video again, and I'm gonna show y'all. And he told him, he said, "Man, what?" The jitty boy said they tried to pay him $50,000, and the jitty boy say, "Man, look, my spirit don't sit right with that for one thing." And he said, "Number two, I don't know shit about politics. So why y'all finna come at me about some politics? I don't even be.
Yeah, they
I'm a
want young
gamer."
people.
He said, "I'm an online gamer. I ain't got shit to do with politics. Why y'all want me?" Because his fan base was so big.
You talking about Kai
That's
Cenat.
what they were
And it's
looking
the
at.
demographic.
Kai Cenat. Look that up for us, Ed, and put that on, and we're gonna play that video real quick. Look, Kai Cenat, that's him.
And
Kai Cenat. Legit boy say, "Look, man, I don't even know nothing about politics. So why I'm finna go sell my people out, and I don't even know
And
nothing about politics."
I looked at that whole speech with Trump and RFK, and let me tell you, that was prefaced. He prefaced RFK coming on, and
pull that up. We can watch that too. That was a good video. That was a good speech.
And he said we don't agree on everything, just like what we talking about. He said we don't agree on everything. He said, but I've known this young man for a long time. He said, and then that Trump kind of strange in his jokes. But he said, even though he's not that young, but he also said the thing that they do agree on, just like brother was talking about earlier, that's what they're holding on to, the things that they do agree on. And the thing that they agree on is our kids and keeping our kids free from all this woke agenda. And they're working on some kind of a task force or something. I'm just kind of paraphrasing off the top of my head, but that's the main thing they were doing. They were agreeing, or they were holding on to the portion that they do agree with. And he was saying RFK would be leading that task force that they're gonna create. So
you know what? That's another thing. That's another thing that they another example of something they've taken from the culture, woke.
Mm-hmm.
It does not mean
right what
today
we think
what it used to mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they done turned it and spent it and just screwed it all up. Now they got and then that's the thing I was saying about that. The Republicans talking about this new woke culture, and they're not talking about the real guys that's standing on business, the people that's on some. You got woke, and then you got people that's awakened. We're more awakened than the woke stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Here go that little jitty boy clip right here, y'all. Let me play this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Then on top of that, we're supposed to be in a penthouse in New York. Then on top of that, I got the nigga! I don't know goddamn about politics, man. I don't know nothing. I don't know shit. I don't know damn thing. I'm not supposed to talk about on screen about politics, bro. I don't know, my nigga. How do I fix this?
That shit was hot about that, man.
Oh, what's going on, dude? Oh my God. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Chat. Okay. It's a long week, bro. It's a long week, man. It's a long week, bro. It's a lot of shit going on, bro. Okay? I'm over here penning out Hunger Games, and I got crying in the Twitter com. Talking about this guy at, dude. Please hit 20,000.com. Please, bro. Please. I can't get through one day. So my thought was, okay, let me go, this whole shit happened, right? Let me go give y'all Bloodborne 30 hours. After not even 24 hours going on. Despite the fact I know a lot of people did not like it because of the me not being able to play DLC. But bro, it's a very hard time right now, dude. Okay? Now let me go ahead and say something. All in a matter of a week, I got the Secret Service. Hey, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't give a okay? Listen, I had a bad that I've been trying to get on for like the last 3 years, the last 2 years that I haven't spoke to in like a year. I haven't spoke to this girl in so goddamn long who gonna have the audacity to text me, we need you a part of the campaign. At first I was thinking she was talking about like a game, a video game, like a Modern Warfare game, or some, or if not that, a clothing brand. I'm like, what campaign? Shorty gonna say, we're not gonna get into details.
Man.
Yo, this is why I can't do shit. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all boys, okay? What the f is Castanet gonna talk about with politics, man? Let's be real. Let's be real. Hey, look, mark my words. I'm gonna say it right now. If there's some way, somehow, something was to go into where I do the stream of politics, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to sit on my stream and say, why did you guys call me? Like, you know, I don't know. I've never did anything with politics. And these blogs are like trying to say, yo, we gotta do this shit, God. And it's all the top blogs. And I'm like, bro, since when did you care about what Castanet had to talk about for politics? You feel me? Chat. It's not even a particular person. It's all sides of the field. All sides of the field. I don't know what's going on. I haven't even been in tune. Shout out to Aiden. I know Aiden did some shit, but Aiden's more into that, you know? Like Aiden's more into that. Chat, when I tell you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. You feel me? I only gonna do it if it makes sense, and I don't know it, and I apologize to people that want to see it so bad, but that's just not my lane. You know, I can't force something that's not me. Feel me? I can't, and I just can't sit there and force something that's just not me, and that's okay. You feel me? And that's okay. If I open this U-Haul truck and there's two sides, you know. Okay? Nah, but chat, I'm not gonna lie though. Yeah, that's the reason we're gonna stream today. We're gonna have a great stream today. But it's just a lot, bro. Like, I come to New York after Bloodborne, dude, that is not even in America. We come for a video. Duke is not in America. Actually, we were raised at. On God, I don't know. On God. Yo, let me tell you something. This is how it's crazy. On
Man, I just had to play that. This Jitterbug almost freaked out, man, because he got fucking black to force him to take his 9.3 million viewers and subscribers and be a damn Democrat shield, and to finesse and manipulate black young folks into voting for the Democrat. And that's what he was basically saying. So I digress. Brother Ed, I know you want to say something. Go ahead. You gotta chime in on this, please.
Yeah, all I was gonna add was all that, and he's Jamaican. He's Jamaican on top of that.
Exactly.
Just another guy in cosplay.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
I do want to share this before I go, though.
Brother Matt, you want to chime in on this one?
I wanted to share this.
Okay, go ahead. I got it up now. All right. Yeah, I got it on now. Go ahead.
Okay.
And not like me for saying this, but y'all are under a spell.
It won't load. That's okay.
It's load. No, let it play. It might load up. Give it a chance. Close your other windows.
Y'all are under a big ass ritual.
I can send it to you. Maybe it'll work better.
Okay, send it to me. Hold on. Everybody internet is kind of jinky tonight, huh?
Guess so.
A lot of y'all might not like me for saying this, but
yeah, I sent it to you already.
Okay. Send it to my messenger. Brett, you still with us?
Nah, he's gone.
Man, you know,
I thought I seen him in there.
no, it's just us three right now.
Okay, I seen Matt for a minute. There go Professor. He back. Everybody, internet man.
Somebody coming back. Okay.
Go ahead,
bro, Mark.
I gotta go, guys. If you guys are on later, I might get back on. But I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right. Guys.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good seeing you too. I'm so tired of shaming and us trying to shame people to like somebody that really 100% we shouldn't be even given the time of day. Because what I don't understand, if soon as you project somebody onto the scene as your candidate, how is it that we can instantly be behind it with no check, no attempt to understand who this person is or nothing else? See, that says that you are voting just one block and you don't care about any substance. Because this person put on it, some black men are no different. And it's a black man saying this. Some black men are no different than some white men and women. They have a problem seeing. Now look at this. Now we want to make it about somebody being against a woman. We have a problem seeing a woman in power, especially a black woman. They can't see themselves being led by a woman. They're perfectly okay being led by, check this one out, the white man. For many, that's the only way they know. So, it's sad because politics ain't about that. Politics is about what have you done for me lately, or what do you promise to do for me? And if somebody tell me that I ain't doing nothing for you, guess what? I believe you, and I'm not doing nothing for you. That's pretty simple. So I don't get it, but when you get emotions involved, that's what happens.
Yes, sir. Professor, you want to give us some last words before we sign off? Please, sir.
Y'all hear me?
Give us a conclusion. Yes, sir.
Man, this internet's been giving me a fit over here in Atlanta. We don't have no bad weather. I've had some severe connection issues. And
you already know what it is.
Yeah. Well,
it's called censoring.
Yeah. You don't have freedom of speech. And you know, the establishment right now is really having a difficult time trying to figure out how do they connect to guys like us, okay? Because we're unbought and we're unbossed,
Yes, sir.
and we are communicating our voice in a way that they've never seen, and we're not the only ones.
Yes, sir.
There are so many other black men across the
And
land
women.
and women who have a platform that's not connected to the establishment.
Yes,
So
sir.
the narrative is greater than what they're communicating in public. And I'm just so proud to be a part of it. You know, I'm certainly promoting manhood because it is not because I don't dislike anyone, it's because I like myself more. I like my boys more, and I know that if you destroy the man and if you destroy the boys, then you're destroying everything that our ancestors died and suffered and gave their blood for. Okay? And as real men, we need to uphold that. I'm doing my part by contributing all of my knowledge and effort to educate and reverse the struggle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely appreciate that, Professor. We appreciate all your contributions. And this is going to be an excellent broadcast. I guarantee you this broadcast is going to be heard worldwide. And we had some great points. We had some great topics that we discussed tonight. And we had some great commentary. And I just want to salute you guys again for showing up for duty, putting out this, I like to call a war briefing for our community. And we're going to be heard because we're going to stay consistent at this and we're going to stay diligent. And you guys definitely, man, are very impressive. The Ghost Watchers are not going to tell you. I trust and believe that your hater base has gone up uh, in a monumental proportion. I guarantee you've gained about 100,000 haters in the last month or so. So nobody wants this message. Everybody wants to continue to be complicit, complacent, and continue to go along with these same policies that are not benefiting our descendants. My kids, my grandkids will have a better life, will have a better future because I'm standing in the pain and I'm standing on business. And I refuse to be denied and I refuse to be neglected as they have been doing. Brother Mark, take us home. We're gonna go.
Yes, sir. And I'm like you two gentlemen. I'm going to do all I can. I'm going to make them as uncomfortable as possible. I need to give them the information. I'm going to give a tidbit every chance I get. Going in both directions if I find something. But as long as you playing this emotional game with me and my people with no substance, then I'm going to keep bringing the fire. And I'm going to keep giving the information. Because one thing about it,
Bringing that hot
what we
spot.
say here on
Hot
this
spot.
platform, and you hear it, one thing about it, you can't unhear.
That's right.
That's it, my brother.
As Professor say, we leave them breadcrumbs. We're leaving them digital breadcrumbs. And we're leaving an imprint for the future generations to be able to look at our legacy and look at the message. And the message is here to stay. You can't erase this data. You can't erase it. So y'all, I just want to say salute to you brothers. Thanks again. And we're going to stop the self-destruction of the black vote. Definitely.
Our people have a very serious problem.
Peace.
America's problem is
self-destruction.
Self-destruction. Yeah, for self-destruction.
Yes.